communication that transcends physical distance and generations. SAY is a cross-generational language program that connects Korean seniors with young people living abroad. Its mission is to reinvigorate the lives of retired seniors in Korea and provide deeper knowledge to young students who want to learn Korean.
안녕하셨어요.
할아버지 그렇게 불러도 돼.
아, 네. 피오 할아버지?
오케이. 잘했어.
It's an invaluable opportunity for young people to learn not only a new language, but also history and culture from the older generation. Today on Heart to Heart, co-founders of Seniors and Youth SAY, Yong-min and Quan Nguyen, whose ultimate goal is to publicize Korea to the world.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Cho and I am the CEO of SAY. We are so honored to be interviewed by Heart to Heart, and I'm very excited for all of you to hear from my co-founders, Yong-min and Quan, about how we empower senior citizens in Korea by connecting them with Korean language learners all around the world. Hope you guys enjoy. Yong-min, Quan, 화이팅!
All right, well, welcome to Heart to Heart. I'm excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. Would you like to say hello to our viewers? Yong-min, would you like to go first?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Yong-min Cho, and I'm one of the founders of SAY, and I'm thrilled to be here.
And hi, guys. My name is Quan Nguyen. I'm also one of the co-founders of SAY, and also very excited to be in this program today.
Okay, welcome once again to Heart to Heart. Thank you for joining us. Now, SAY is short for Seniors and Youths. So could you tell us about what SAY does? Yes.
Sure. So SAY is a platform that helps Korean learners all over the world who wish to speak Korean fluently like a native. The name is an acronym, Seniors and Youth, because we have a social mission. The tutors that we hire are retired professionals who are looking for fulfilling work. And so by connecting them with young Korean learners all over the world, we create intergenerational and cross-cultural solidarity.
한국도 그렇지 않아요?
아, 예전에는
어느 거 보셨어요? 아, 저도 봤어요.
그래요?
네, 저 봤어요.
세대 차이를 가장 강하게 느끼는 곳은 아마 기술인 것 같아요.
기술.
그 새롭게 나오는.
그 다음에 그 졸업 맡으면 뭐 할 거야?
아시아에서 영어 선생님이 되고 싶어요.
오, 좋지. 한국에 와서 영어 선생하면은.
So tell us about your students. Who are your students?
We get students from all over different spectrums. So you'll have students who are Korean Americans who just want to get it back in touch with their roots. And we also have students who are in college just learning Korean because they love the culture, they love to learn about a new language that's really exciting. And then we have teachers who are in Korea, English teachers, that want a better way to improve their proficiency. And they're so busy, but they see SAY as an outlet to have more flexibility and learn the language.
Okay, so now we know the students. What about the teachers? Who are the teachers?
The teachers are lovely. They're, as I said, as I mentioned, are almost all retired professionals. Professionals from all walks of life who've had a very, who've worked hard all their life, but after retiring are finding that they want to stay active and want a meaningful life. A lot of them speak Korean, obviously fluently. They're native speakers, so the students get matched with a native tutor, which is the best thing. And so we pick tutors who apply from all walks of life so that they can be matched with students and have engaging relationships and lessons. And at the end of the day, our goal is to create these meaningful jobs for seniors who live in this aging society that is Korea.
Yes, yeah. Aging population is a global issue. Yeah, it's everyone's concern. Now, SAY's language learning program, I heard it was included in Princeton University's Korean language classes for 4 terms, starting from September 2014, and also at Yale for a year from September 2015. So do the 2 universities still have the SAY programs?
Yes, so we started with those universities. We wanted to serve the Korean department there and the students learning Korean, not just learn, but speak more. And we've just wrapped up the semester with those universities a couple months ago. And we plan to continue working with more universities as we go forward. But for this year, I'd like to add that there are Korean learners everywhere. And so we're really casting our net wide. We want to reach a wider
Pool of students, right?
Of students.
So, I mean, the goal is to help people, I guess, learn Korean in a fun and engaging way.
Exactly.
Kind of connect with their tutors, you know, their teachers. And I guess sometimes the students and the tutors may feel like they've become family. And I think the best part is that you feel comfortable, you kind of bond with your tutor or your tutor and the student. And at the same time, your Korean speaking skills improve. So tell us about the improvements that you've seen in the students' speaking skills.
I can speak to that a little bit.
Yes.
The speaking skills need to improve, and that's the demand, that's the need of the students. So we've really worked hard to listen to their feedback and measure their growth. And the results have been very positive, thankfully. At Princeton, for instance, we've had a couple students who've benefited most are the quiet ones that are in class who are less confident to speak in a setting where there are many people in one classroom in a lecture setting. But one particular student, throughout the academic year, as the year wore on, the professors saw a noticeable difference in her level of confidence, her diction and fluency. So those things really prove to us that we need to work harder and help more students really become more confident like that.
We also have another really special case where our student, he's Korean American, and he never grew up speaking with his grandparents. So he thought that, you know what, this is an opportunity for me. I'm finally in Korea, I'm working at a Korean company, but I think, you know, if I can reconnect with, you know, someone who's older than me, from like my grandparents' generation, maybe that can help me do better in the workplace. So he took several months of classes with us. He not only improved, but now he goes to work and he talks about current events in Korean with his coworkers. And you can see a fire lit up in his eyes. Like he really loves the program. He loves the fact that he's talking with someone who could be, you know, will be his grandmother. And he's confident and able to have conversations about Korean politics and economics with his coworkers. So it's really exciting for us to see something like that.
I mean, I have a couple of friends that have, you know, that were born here but raised in the States and having most of their family members in Korea. So they rarely get the chance to see each other. And it's not easy to communicate with your family members if you live so far away. And a lot of those friends do not speak much Korean. So they kind of regret not having learned how to speak Korean at a younger age. So I think it's a great opportunity for people like that to even learn Korean and kind of communicate with their family members in Korea as well. So it's great that the students and the tutors, they seem to be satisfied with the interaction. How do you match the students and the teachers?
We do through several methods. We have first one-on-one consultations with the students just to really figure out, you know, what are your learning needs? You know, do you need someone who's bilingual because you're at a lower level? Or do you need someone who is actually going to speak with you all in Korean and teach you maybe certain, I guess, knowledge that you're interested in? Like if you're interested in Korean culture or history, for example, we'll find someone who maybe worked for a Korean museum for most of her career. So she would be like a best case scenario for you to actually speak with her and learn about not only Korean culture and history, but perhaps working for a museum in Korea.
Oh, I see. Okay. And how many levels are there in total?
We have about 5. And we're actually creating more classes. So there's a business Korean coming up. And we have some booster classes such as pronunciation Korean for people who just want to maybe work on some of the skills that rather than just speaking, maybe work on some of the weaknesses like speaking with the right pronunciation.
Of the many programs or the lessons that you have, which lessons are the most popular? I mean, since you want to add some new programs or new lessons, which are the most popular?
We right now have a big demand for lower level classes. So this is level 1. They just, you know, as you can see, like Korean learners, they learn Korean because of the culture, like entertainment, K-pop, K-drama.
Oh yeah.
It's so popular among the younger generation and the youth today. So this has been our highest in demand class. So we're trying to really meet that demand for that level.
Okay, we'll talk more about SAY in just a bit. You're tuned into Heart to Heart today, and joining us today on our show are the co-founders of SAY, an online language learning platform that makes speaking Korean and learning to speak Korean fun and engaging. Let's take a look at the students and the teachers of SAY, and check them out.
아유, 그럼 마음이
학생들끼리 뭐 놀이 같은
When I was in Korea, I spent most of my time talking with high schoolers and people in their 20s or 30s. But honestly, the older generation has a lot more different opinions, and they've lived a different life, and they've lived in a different era.
그다음에 이야기하는 과정에서 한국에도 다녀가서 한 1년간 생활하면서 동양에 대한 이해 깊고 동양에 대한 이해도 남다르다는 것 같아요.
I've just learned, first of all, to speak to elders in Korean. I wasn't accustomed to doing that. And then also I've just learned so much about Korean culture and even history because my halmodi, my grandfather in Korea, he teaches me all of this historical stuff that I love.
세이란 나에게 활력소다. 세이를 해야 돼. 처져 있지 않고 나를 불끈불끈 일어서게 하는.
세이를 하면서 80을 바라보는 내가 아직도 나라를 위해서 무엇인가를 할 수 있다는 것을 느껴요. 아주 보람을 느끼고 있어요.
So we just took a look at the students and the teachers participating in SAY, and I would like to ask you, what prompted you to start SAY? How did it all begin?
I guess so I started SAY almost by accident. I was working, I always knew that I was interested in different issues, especially the aging population issue. I worked at a senior welfare center in Seoul for 2 years, and where I interacted with seniors on a daily basis. There was this one 할아버지 senior that I really liked, that we would talk on a daily basis. She was so lively, and it would just be so interesting to talk to her. So I thought, do you want to talk to my friend, whoever who is non-Korean also, and maybe talk to them in Korean? Mrs. So it really began with her. I just wanted to make her happy. And I brought my laptop one day, walked around the senior center. Hey, do you want to try Skyping, video chatting with a friend? Most of them were like, oh, computers, no. But then there were 1 or 2 people who said, this sounds fun and exciting. I'd love to do that.
You almost forgot to mention that one of our earliest seniors was actually his grandma, his harmony.
That's amazing.
That's true.
He filmed her on video, and then he sent that to the students at Princeton and let them see that, this is what you can do. You can actually talk to a, Korean elderly and really practice your Korean. And by the way, that's my grandma.
Oh, cool.
So it's really, it was so heartwarming.
How did she like it?
She loved it. I mean, she's very bubbly. She's got that grandma energy, which, if I'm a student, it's like it makes you feel calm, makes you feel comfortable, less self-conscious. So I think that's also something that students like about our program. They're all like nice, warm seniors. So you kind of put your guard down.
I see. Does she still teach?
She wants to teach, and she sometimes still participates.
I see. All right.
And so it's very personal for me, this whole thing.
I'm curious about the age. The youngest happens to be how old, and the oldest?
Well, the youngest happens to be around my mom's age, actually, like just in the 50s.
Okay.
And then one of our oldest teacher happens to be in her mid-80s.
Mid-80s, wow.
Yes. So she, it's amazing how, like, even at that age, she still feels very young. She still feels very young and just energetic and just wants to kind of like go out there and take on the world.
How did the two of you actually meet? How did you get involved in SAY?
So I met Yong-min about 3 years ago when I first came over to Korea on a Fulbright scholarship. I had to do research. And while I was researching, I met Yong-min, and because he was meeting a lot of people within the same program that I was part of. And, you know, naturally, one conversation led to the next. I learned that he was doing something amazing with seniors at his center. And as an aspiring Korean learner, I'm always looking for new strategies. How do I improve, you know, my speaking? How do I just get better at it? And I realized that, you know what, let me give this a try. So I actually kind of like begged him, can I be a part of your program? Can I volunteer or be a student? And it turned out, you know, afterwards I took 2 semesters as a SAY student, and that really convinced me that he was onto something, you know, so simple like just connecting 2 people, but then deeper into the conversations with all of my teachers, I realized that, wow, we're doing something much more than just connecting people. We're changing society in a way. If one day more people can be open-minded to speaking with the older generation, that would be so wonderful. That would make a world, you know, much better for both sides, younger people and older people.
When I watched one of your clips, it was a clip of an interview that you did. And when I saw Quan, I thought you were Korean, actually. Because, see, he just spoke Korean. But you sound so much like a Korean because your Korean speaking skills are, I mean, wonderful.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So, I thought that you were Korean. So I'm just curious. You've had an interest in Korean, the Korean language, and you, of course, took SAY lessons. How well did you speak Korean before you actually...
I was terrible. I mean, I am still learning because I know I need to still improve on different areas. But back then, it was so hard for me to even hear sometimes Korean. I was still speaking at a novice level. And, you know, I would be able to say "ne" and shake my head sometimes. And, you know, I tend to have an outgoing personality, so I do try to ask a lot of questions. But even despite, you know, just speaking with some of, you know, my teachers, there was a struggle. You have to really be disciplined as a Korean learner. And for me, after listening, I think that's what it taught me through SAY. I had to listen really well and pay attention to what I was learning. And I slowly picked up the phrases and I slowly understood, okay, this is what naturally what Koreans say. You know, not what the textbook is teaching me, but this is exactly how in real life they say these certain expressions. So I definitely improved over the past, you know, 2 semesters of just taking lessons.
장가가라고 안 해? 장가가라고.
장가 뭐예요, 할머니?
결혼시키는 거.
결혼.
좋은 색시가 있으니까
네.
손보라고.
선볼.
손을 본다. 뭐냐 하면은 좋은 색시가 있으면 이 신랑감을 보여주려고. 그래서 불러가지 않았나? 그렇게 좋게 생각했어.
I'm sure that since you started SAY, you have experienced difficulties. There were those difficult moments or difficulties that you had to overcome to kind of get SAY on track. So could you tell us about the most difficult times you might have had?
Yeah, it's been a journey. And as I just said, I'm still a student, meaning I have so much to learn. There are things that I want to do, but there's so much to learn. What is the right way to do it? And now we're a social venture, a venture with a mission and a social direction, but with a model for a sustainable business. But before, it was just a project, and that was free of charge. That was gaining traction, and that was the most difficult thing, where people wanted to experience SAY more, which is a great thing. But for me, that was scary. I didn't know what to do, and so the big question of what do I do? I'm still a student. Should I create a nonprofit? Do I need to create a business? What is the best model for this to go much bigger than what it is now? I felt like the work that I was doing was much bigger than me as an individual. And so that was a big challenge for me. But I thought, you know, if not now, when? And if not me, you know, who else?
Right, so I think I know the answer to this question, but have you ever had regrets or moments when you wanted to just give up? No, right?
Not really. We're still here. We're still here.
We're still
here, and you know, fighting the good fight. I mean, as anyone who is an entrepreneur or working with, you know, a startup, it's tough. Yeah. It's really not an easy road, and it's something that every day it's unpredictable. It can be tough to wake up and, you know, feel positive. Sometimes you have to force yourself to do that. Yeah. And no matter how unclear the future looks or how, you know, much of a struggle it is to get up that day, we still do, because we've seen it. We've seen how amazing it is when we connect our students and our teachers. And we know that there's so many other people like that that need that experience and want to have that opportunity to improve their Korean. So it's a big mission for us, you know, and we want to continue working hard to provide that to everyone.
Well, since we're talking about that, you know, I'm sure there are many of our viewers that are watching right now, they're very interested in SAY. So, I mean, are there ways, how can you become a part of SAY? How can you participate?
Sure. So for all the viewers watching who are interested in taking lessons with us, if you sign up now to our website, www.sayspeaking.com, make an account, and we will provide you a free trial lesson with our teachers.
Okay, simple as that.
It's very simple.
Difficult at all. And finally, I'd like to ask each of you what SAY means to you. Want to go first, Quan?
This is hard.
I know. It sounds easy, but it's not that easy to answer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
SAY to me is a movement. I think it is a philosophy. I think it is something that represents the idea of connecting across generations and cultures. And based on a language so far, but I think in the future can be much more than just language learning.
Yes.
And wherever, you know, life takes us, I hope SAY can, you know, be that symbol of connecting people across cultures and generations.
And
SAY to me, I think, SAY to me is the lifestyle that I want to live when I'm older.
Good answer.
Again, Korea is aging faster than any other country in the world.
Yes.
I'm in my 20s now. I won't be always in my 20s. And when I retire, whatever I'm doing, when I'm in my 50s, 60s, I want to live with energy and be with others in my cohort who also have that energy, and be able to interact with young people without being scared or prejudiced. And SAY creates that, although it's small now, later on. SAY is the lifestyle that I want to live as a senior.
Yes, and I would have to say that I agree. Something that I would love to be a part of as well. I do want to thank you once again for your time, and it was a very meaningful time for me actually because it really got me thinking, a lot of thinking, and it's wonderful how you're kind of connecting people. It's not just about language learning, but there's so much more to it. So thank you for working very hard with SAY, and thank you for joining us on our program today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.